Hey everyone, thank you for joining me. I'm a guy called Joe and this is Bootstrapping Tools. And today we're going to dive into Google Data Studio and Google Cloud Storage, putting those two together so that your large files on Google Cloud Storage can be used to power your Data Studio dashboards. Now, if you don't know what Google Data Studio is, it's basically just a business intelligence tool. And a business intelligence tool, or a BI tool for short, is just a tool that you can lay on top of your data sets so that you can provide charts and tables and graphs or whatever you might want in order to visualize your data better. Now up on the screen, we have a very simple guide to creating a basic dashboard in Google Data Studio. And this is on bootstrapping.tools. This is going to walk you through adding in your first data source, how many data sources there are, how you're going to create a report from that, and then creating your own for your first table and converting it to a chart, and how you would essentially select the data that you want to display. So if you're interested in taking a look at that, please look into the description. We'll provide a link straight to it. But if you have used Data Studio before, feel free to just skip ahead and follow along here. So Google Cloud Storage. If you haven't used it before, it's another free product from Google, just like Data Studio is. And what it allows you to do is to store files in the cloud so that it can be accessible anywhere else, and just have a link to it. So of course, there is a free plan, and the pricing is pretty nice for Google. What you get when you sign up initially is about $300 worth of credit. So there's really not, you can do a lot with that. Maybe it doesn't sound too much, but what we're looking at here is like 2 cents per gig. Most of the time, I'm assuming you're not going to have a gig. So in that case, it's basically free. But with the $300, it literally is. Once you go past that $300 or whatever time period Google has for the trial period in that free credit, you'll just pay 2 cents per gig. So whatever that amounts to be, it's negligible, especially if you're working with a lot of data. By the way, it's powered by Google, so you got all the uptime and all the greatness that comes along with the Google product. So going over to Data Studio now, if you guys remember, the way to add in a data source is to go over to the Create button up on the upper left, click on that, and then go to Data Studio. Once you click on Data Source. Once you click on that, it's going to take you over to your options for connectors. You got your Google connectors up top, and then your third-party connectors or partner connectors below that. We're going to focus on Google Cloud Storage. And once you get to Google Cloud Storage, you're going to have to provide a path. So click on that. It's going to say GCS target path. So going over to Google Cloud Platform, your console, and then selecting Cloud Storage from the list of options that you have. Once you get there, it's going to tell you to create an instance. Over here, we've called ours Bootstrapping Tools Sample Data. You can create your own, and then once you upload a file, you're going to be able to click into that file. And then in the breadcrumbs up the top, which is basically just a trail of the different paths and the levels, you'll see a little copy icon which says copy the path to the clipboard. When you click on that, it's going to copy the path, and this is the exact same path that you need to provide in the Data Studio options. So before I go there though, you'll notice that the size is 22.5 megabytes. Now the Google Sheets could store data that's about this large, but it doesn't let you import data about this large. So I actually have here a spreadsheet, that I just created. Now trying to import this data. This is the worldwide COVID data as of May 23rd, 2021. So it's a pretty big file, 22 megabytes. It's larger than the one that you can import. So because we can't import it here, you're kind of out of luck. You have to break up the data first, and to do that you're going to need to open it up in Excel or open it up in Numbers or whatever platform that you have, so that you can slice it up and then upload it or copy and paste it in. Not ideal. What is ideal though is if you want to report on this, is to just upload it straight to Google Cloud Storage. And once you have it up there, there is a file limitation of 100 megabytes, but that's a long way to go. That's 5 times the size that you would normally do for Google Sheets. So once you have that uploaded here, you copy that path over by clicking on the copy button. You go over to your data source, and then you just hit Command V or Control V if you're on a PC. It'll put that in there, and then you just hit the enter button. And now it's going to read the data source and then take all the fields that it found within there. Since this file is a little large, it'll take a little bit of time, but here we go. It's finished and it has all the fields. We have a lot of columns in here: vaccination rates, positive rates. We have new vaccinations, new tests, new deaths, cases. All that is found within here. Now, what we'll do is let's name this COVID-19, and then we'll call this May 23rd, 2021. So now that this is saved, you can go ahead and explore the data, and it works just like the way that we used for the Pokemon data from the Google Sheets import that we did last time. So if we can go to create report, we can go to explore. Explore, like I said, it's just a really fast way to navigate through the data and see what it's like. Once you go there, it'll automatically generate a table for you. And this one is by ISO code, or this is just the area. This is just what the data set looks like. You can do a bunch of different things. You can say continent instead, and I'll give you a record count. Instead of doing this metric, perhaps you might want to do, cases, right? And maybe we want to do deaths, and then maybe we want to do vaccinations, and we can remove the record count there. And then now you can see clearly the data set. You can see the new cases, the new deaths, the new vaccinations within each continent in the world. And if you wanted to also make this a little prettier, you can create, column charts. If you wanted to, you can create a stacked column chart instead, so that you can have all the numbers. You can do bar graphs or line graphs or whatever you really want to do here. It's really up to you. This is probably going to be best suited with a column chart. And then you can also add in additional ones if you wanted to. I don't know what exactly the data set looks like, so bear with me. I'm not sure if there's a geo, but let's say we add in a geo area. It seems like there's location, which, boom, there we go. It automatically knows that we want to do certain things. So we have the location in there. We can add tooltips. We can, instead of doing that, we can do a filled map. There are many different types, and this is also using location, and then the record count. So maybe we want to only show that with vaccinations. Oops. Do that. And then you can see which countries are getting the most vaccinations in this nice pretty little chart. But either way, this is essentially the power of adding in a larger data set, about 22 megabytes, one that you couldn't normally import into Google Sheets by yourself. And then with that, you can simply explore the data in a nice and easy, efficient way without things slowing down when it's in a Google Sheets, because it usually takes a little bit more time. This is a little faster since it's a single file and doesn't have to do so many weird connections. It's just more efficient for whatever reason. But that's basically it. I hope it was helpful. If you liked the video and you liked the way that it was explained, please hit the like button so that other people just like you who are looking to connect larger data sets to Data Studio to represent in your reports and dashboards can find this video and learn just like you did. Of course, we talked about there's a 100 megabyte limit for your uploads into Google Cloud Storage. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how you can use Google Cloud SQL to get around that 100 megabyte limit. We're going to be using a file that is over 100 megabytes, and to show you how you can still visualize that data in Google Data Studio without having to worry about those limitations. So we're going to release that video, but make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell so that you can get notified as soon as that video comes out. If you had any trouble with connecting your Google Cloud Storage data over to your Data Studio report, please drop a comment in the section below. We'll respond. We're happy to help always, so don't be shy and put in something. But that's it for this video. I'm a guy called Joe. This is Bootstrapping Tools, and we're out.